cool if I stand up. What's good, London? It's an honor to be here, and thanks to the anonymous heroes in occupied Palestine who've been resisting selflessly since 1948 and even before that. And as the quote from Hassan Kanafani teaches us, resisting not just for Palestine, but for all of humanity. Yeah, my case being fired after 20 years as a professor at the City University of New York, you know, at a personal level, my colleagues know me. I teach in a I taught past tense. I'm still not getting used to this whole fired, censored, doxxed professor thing, but ultimately it's an honor to stand on the right side of history of the Palestinian people have taught us. When I was fired, my department has 17 professors, all of whom are Latino, Dominican, and Puerto Rican, Mexican. Well, y'all get the point. Only one professor stood with me when I was fired, and that was Luis Barrios. The rest of the professors ran for the hills, pretended like they didn't know me after 20 years, and they had invited me to come lecture their classes to talk about all of the taboo anti-colonial themes that they were afraid to talk about. So the careerism and the opportunism, and that's what Palestine teaches us, how to separate the real from the fake. Those who only care about individualism and clicks on social media, and who cares about humanity. I'm not the only professor that's been fired. There's more and more of us who've been fired from NYU, from Columbia, from the City University of New York. I just want to also say too, you know, to be in London, what I saw today, and thank you to these veteran anti-war organizers who have directly and indirectly influenced me across that little pond they call the Atlantic, to see 100,000, 150,000 people strong in London, to see that unity. We don't see that enough in the United States. And as we march down Downing Street, as we march through Parliament, how could I not remember Dr. Walter Rodney, C.L.R. James, George Padmore, Kwame Nkrumah, all the amazing anti-colonial internationalist, anti-imperialist thinkers who have passed through here, this colonial Mecca, this colonial metropolis. And when I looked at those imposing structures in Parliament, in Buckingham Palace, one thinks about how many trillions of dollars stolen from the Indian people, from the Bengali people, from the Pakistani people, how many Nigerian lives sacrificed over how many centuries. So to come here and stand with you all, this is not just the cause of Palestine, one colony of the West. This is the cause of the entire colonized world. Shame on the West that continues to be complicit in genocide, in colonization. I used to always use the term neocolonialism as an academic, but today I ask, how redundant is it to say neo when it's the same thing as in 1492, the same thing as when that Mayflower crossed over and the Pilgrims murdered the Wampanoags and the Pequot Native Americans? So the cause of unity, the cause of internationalism is more important than ever. I hope I answered your question.
I think so.